What is up, everyone? Today we're doing a book review for the book The Paradox of Choice by Barry Swartz. And before we go any further, to hear more videos like this, because we're posting more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up on this video if you like it. Hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on future videos. I appreciate you doing that. And let's get on to the show here. So we got this book, The Paradox of Choice by Barry Swartz. Barry Swartz is an American psychologist. The book was published in 2004. It's 304 pages. The Kindle is $12.49. Paperback is $15.79. There are other options too, like a audio version and a hardcover. So the general theme of this book is decision making, and the title explains it pretty well. The paradox of choice. We have so many options. Any choice we make, we could always have 10 to 15 options put on the board and try to analyze which one is going to be the best. And that doesn't always mean we're going to be happy with our decision, because there's psychological phenomenons happening that even if we select the best choice, we might not be subjectively happy. And this is what this book goes on to talk about. There are two types of people this book talks about. There's maximizers and satisficers. So maximizers try to maximize every single decision. They put a ton of time into it, and they actually objectively come out probably with a better result. And satisficers don't do that necessarily. Satisficers have standards, and then they pick the option that meets their standards. That doesn't mean they have low standards. They have high standards, but they pick the option. They don't have 10 on the board trying to make every analytical decision. And the two types of people result into different happiness levels, let's say. So maximizers tend to not be subjectively happier than satisficers. Satisficers actually tend to be happier, according to this book. And there's numerous studies that go on to prove this out. So the idea behind this book is pushing you more to be a satisficer. Have standards, limit your options, and don't always try to have so many choices that you end up actually not being happy. And there's a number of phenomenons that Barry talks about. One is people are risk averse, so you don't like feeling like you've lost something. And when you have so many great options up on the board and you have to pick the best one, a lot of times you might have to sacrifice all these other good options for one. Even though this one is really, really good, there might have been a handful that were also good. And now our alligator brains start to say, well, we're missing out on this option. And you start to not like the feeling of loss. People, there are studies to show that people weigh losing something twice as much as gaining something. So when you feel like you're losing something, you start to not feel happier. And that's what happens when you have too many choices on the board and you try to be a maximizer. The other one is adaptation and satisfaction treadmill. This is like when you get a new car or a new house or a new pair of shoes or a TV, whatever the hell you guys buy. It's a great feeling for a week, and then you adapt to it. Becomes normal. So like you're aiming for, like, your happiness level shoots up, and then it just gets average, and it's normal now. And when that happens, you start to question your decision. Like, was this really making me as happy as I thought it would be? I had all these damn options. I picked the best one, and now it's just eh. And it's that psychological thing that, you are trying to always maximize your happiness, but you adapt to it. And and there's a thing here where you try to it's the treadmill, satisfaction treadmill, where if you're speaking in terms of points, plus and minus points, if you make a really good decision on a brand new computer that you buy, and for the first few weeks, you have plus 20 points. Like, that's a really good decision. I made a good decision. I feel really happy, plus 20. If you keep always doing that, then the phenomenon that's talked about here with the satisfaction treadmill is that now Next time you make a decision, you're used to 20 points of happiness. So when you make that 20 points of happiness, that's just normal. Now you got to aim for 30 to have that same level of happiness. And it's like a never ending cycle of trying to make yourself happy with the best decisions you could possibly do. But eventually, you're going to run out of being able to make yourself happy. And that's what that talks about, this phenomenon. And so those are two big things that affect your happiness when you're making a decision over a number of different options in front of you. Now, this book goes on to talk about solutions. So, solutions are a few things here. One is reduce the number of options before you make a decision. So, instead of having maybe 6 or 7 options and they all look pretty damn good, let's say you're going on vacation and you're picking between 7 options that all look really good. All would be awesome to go on vacation, or 7 computers that all honestly, a normal person, who tells a damn difference? All of them have really good options, really good pros, maybe a couple cons. And when you have that many, again, that's what maximizers do. They start to think about the loss. I could have had this and this and this. Could have had that. Could have had this. My dad is funny. My dad likes to drive. Uh, he loves driving, and then he knows the roads like the back of his hand. And when he picks one path, like let's say we're going on vacation, or when we were younger, we would drive to South Carolina to go to vacation. If you take one way to get to that destination, he would always say, "Oh, I should have took the other route." It's like similar to that, but not really, right? When you have all these options on the board, you start to think, "Oh, what if I did this?" Limit your options to 2 to 3. But in this book, they said limit your options to 2, and it'll make your decision making and weighing the pros and cons much easier, and you won't feel that sense of loss. Um, 2 is have standards. Don't try to be a maximizer. Have high standards of what would make you happy with the decision you need to make, and evaluate what those options are that would make you happy. Because you could have 7 options on the board. All of Let's say 4 of them, 4 out of the 7 actually meet your standards to actually be happy. But now that you're comparing all of them, one looks a little better than the other. So now your standards actually start to get so high that's almost unrealistic. Just have standards that'll make you happy, and don't be a maximizer. Third is practicing gratitude. This is a good one for everyone. Practice gratitude. Be happy and grateful for what you have. And those are the 3 solutions here that this book goes on to talk about. This book is available on Amazon. Go get your copy. It's an interesting read. And you might hear my daughter. I think it's time for nap time for my daughter. So I hope you enjoyed this book review. Go get yourself a copy. I appreciate you listening to this. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up on this video if you liked it. Hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on more videos that I post like this. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye, everyone.